What's up, guys? My name is Andrew Sagan, and today we're going to talk about how to reuse yard waste. So, if you're wondering about the mark on my forehead, today's actually Ash Wednesday, so I was sure to get my ashes. I like to think I'm a decent Catholic, so there's that. But right now we're in the dead of winter in Buffalo, New York, so that's landscaping or doing work in the yard, the garden. That's probably the last thing you're thinking about, but it's always good to kind of keep up to date on tips and tricks and things that can save you not only time but also money and even enhance the look of your yard. So, my background is actually in landscaping. I spent 6 years in the industry, and I saw a lot of ways that we could actually reuse, recycle, whatever you want to call it, landscape materials and stuff that we're taking out. We could just easily reuse instead of paying to get rid of it, or just we could add value to the customer and we can increase our profits. So there was no point in doing that. So this is kind of some insights I've had over the last 6 years, but this just doesn't apply to landscape companies. This also applies to your typical homeowner who just wants to work in the yard on the weekends and save some time, save some money, because everyone's busy, and whenever you can save time, it's the best thing to do. So first thing we're going to talk about is edging. So what edging is that's the border around your landscape bed. That's what keeps in the mulch, the dirt, the plants. That's what retains everything. A lot of people will do like artificial edging. It comes in rubber, metal, or plastic. But I mean, most people like the natural look. So what edging is, they'll take a spade and they'll remove it. They'll remove some of the soil with the grass on top with the turf. That ends up being a decent sized chunk. And what a lot of companies, a lot of homeowners will do is they'll throw it in a lawn leaf bag, they'll throw it in a can, they'll take it to a recycling facility, which is great. You're still recycling it, but you're paying to get rid of that, and you're spending extra time to take it there. So what I've done in the past and what has saved time and money is taking the edging, the block of sod with dirt underneath. You can't use it for sod. It's usually too big, too wide, and it's got too much. Trying to think of the industry term on it, but it's not suitable for use. You can't use it as lawn, so it's garbage anyway you put it. So what I would do, I'll throw it back in the bed, and I'll kind of either churn it up with your. You can either churn it up with your boot. You can use a spade, a shovel of some sort, maybe a hard rake or something. And if you can kind of grind it down a little finer, you can put it right back in your bed. You can even build up your bed a little bit, which is good because what you see a lot of times is a bed that's too low, and then you don't get the water runoff like you should. You have water sitting there, and that hurts the plant. So if we can build our bed up with this seemingly waste, we're not only saving time, but we're making money now because we're saving ourselves a trip and we're not paying to get rid of it. So that's number one right there. Another one is when people are planting trees, shrubs, bushes, flowers, whatever you call it. So they're removing that dirt. So now we've got a hole with a pile of dirt next to it, right? So they're like, all right, this dirt right here, waste. Not the case. I'm telling you right now, it's not. That dirt is perfectly fine unless you're dealing with like some kind of clay. Most of the time, you're not. I mean, there's some areas around Buffalo that are more known for their clay-like soils, but most of the time, you're not. What you can do is, so when you put your plant in, you get your fertilizer, of course. I mean, that's a song for another time. But you can reuse that dirt right down in there, pack in that plant, solidify it, and then you're not spending money on soil from the store. You're not spending time to go get it. And if you're a landscape company, it's not easy to get soil in small quantities for cheap prices, and oftentimes your job site is not always close to the facility where you're buying landscape materials from. You're buying the soil from, so and you're always taking a chance with that stuff. You never know what's in someone else's soil. It could be weeds, could be some other sort of growth that you don't want. So you've got good soil right. You've already unearthed great soil. Use it again. There's no harm in doing that. And once again, you're saving yourself time and money. So, and in the end, you're also being more sustainable. I mean, I should have mentioned that in the beginning. Sustainability is key point number three here, because we're not using new earth materials. We're using what we already have, and that's sustainability in every sense of the word. So to recap the two things we went over today, so we're reusing edging, where we're taking it and we're kind of crushing it up into finer, or at least turning it over and building up another part of a bed. Maybe we're making a new raised bed or something like that. And then when we're planting new plants, trees, shrubs, flowers, whatever it may be, we're using that dirt, excuse me, to plant it to solidify that plant right back in the hole. and then from there we're good to go. So by doing these two things, by reusing this yard waste, we're being sustainable, we're saving money, and we're saving time. And me, that's a pretty good deal. So take it to the bank. You heard it here first, and that's it today on Landscaping 101. Have a good one, guys.